played for the Barcelona B team, never actually made a league appearance for the main side. Before he obviously made the move to England with Brighton first, now with Chelsea. As Betis come forward again, almost half an hour played, and as Zuli with a little burst of pace that manages to beat Malo Gusto, and Gusto was able to get back and block the cross and send it out for a corner. And he is being troubled significantly by Abdel Zazuli, who scored the only goal of the game so far. It's a constant threat down the left-hand side for Betis. Now they have a corner, which again has been taken quickly by Isco. Comes back to him again, goes into the penalty area, cuts it back well. Rodriguez tries to force it towards goal, and it's cleared by Chelsea, who now look to counter, and Madueke does win the ball. Anthony getting back to try and make the tackle. It is still with Chelsea though, as Madueke plays the ball out to the right-hand side. Neto has to backtrack a little bit to pick it up, but he does have it now. Gives it to Palmer. Palmer into the penalty area. Good header away by Nathan. Brazilian defender, clearing the danger for the time being at least. Now it's with Cucurella. Now with Caicedo in the Chelsea half, just inside the centre circle. Picks it up again, Caicedo. Half, just inside the centre circle. Picks it up again, Caicedo. For Pedro Neto, chance to run it. The Betis backline again. He does get his cross in. It's going to come all the way to the left-hand side for Madueke, who twists and turns, and a couple of step-overs, forces his way into the penalty area, and then wins the corner. Defending in the end by Sabali. Preventing. It's good defending, it finds Malo Gusto. Tries to clip it into the penalty area, but his attempted cross is blocked. It's going to come to Palmer again. He's battling with Isco. And the ball gets away from Cole Palmer and runs out of play for a goal kick. So Maresca looking a little frustrated on the Chelsea bench at the moment. Was a poor goal that they conceded early in the game. They gave the ball away inside their own half, but it still required a brilliant no-look pass from Isco to pick out Zazuli perfectly. And Zazuli finished superbly as well. 23-year-old Moroccan, signed for Betis back in 2023, formerly in Barcelona, of course. Played in Osasuna for a season. Moroccan international. This evening, so far, very effective. To mention that experience that they have, Real Betis, of course. Isco is arguably the prime example, the captain, leading from the front, serial winner with Real Madrid, brilliant footballer as well. And they have the likes of Ricardo Rodriguez as well at left back, who has had a great career. Spurs, AC Milan, 22-year-old Swiss international. Yusuf Sabali as well, the right back, very experienced, been in Betis a while, played for Bordeaux. Yusuf Sabali as well, the right back, very experienced. Really, there is bags of experience, just a little bit of youth and flair in there as well. Chelsea had the major trophies at international level. And have had success in their career. They maybe do lack at international level. And have had success in their career. They with Chelsea at the moment. Cole Palmer having to go backwards again to with Chelsea at the moment. Cole pass Malagusto, who can lay it back to Pedro Neto, edge of the penalty area, cuts inside, looks to go for goal, can't keep his shot down. Left-footed effort that flies over the top. It's those more direct balls that are causing a few more problems for Real Betis. Managing to get it behind Chelsea. So far haven't quite created enough. Adrian is taking his time over the goal kick. Entirely surprising. Have been going short with his goal kicks for much of the first half, but he is now finally decided he's going to go along with this one. The referee is just urging him to mix for much of the first half, but he is now finally decided he's going to go along with. Takes the goal kick and finds the head of Bakambu. Zuli lays it off to Isco. Plays a lovely ball out to Ricardo Rodriguez. He's closed down by Caicedo, but the ball picked up by Isco, who wriggles away from a good challenge by Caicedo. Caicedo then shoves over the Betis captain. Referee seems to be aware of it, but has allowed play to continue with Betis still in possession as Bartra plays it out wide to Sabali. Sabali cutting in field, playing it back to Fornals. Fornals finds Bartra again, plays it out wide to Sabali. Sabali cutting in field, playing it back to Bartra, who is deep inside his own half now, and plays it back once again to Adrian. Out wide to Nathan, the Brazilian defender, on loan from Napoli. Ball flicked on by Zuli and finds Isco. Isco down the left-hand side, up against Malagusto. Twisting and turning, assessing his options, decides to keep hold of the ball and then plays a little reverse pass into the penalty area. Looking for Zuli, it wasn't quite Gusto. Twisting and turning, assessing his options, decides to keep hold of the ball and then plays a little reverse pass into the penalty area. Looking for Zuli, it wasn't quite as good as his previous one to the Moroccan. His creative qualities. Very entertaining first half in Wrocław so far. Betis leading in this Conference League final by a goal to nil. English club claiming the Europa League, of course, last week with Spurs. Ending their long wait for a trophy. Beating Manchester United in the final. No English clubs, of course, involved in the Champions League final, which is coming up at the weekend. For that one, as the ball is played in towards Cole Palmer inside the penalty area, and then Bartra and Adrian getting in a little bit of a muddle. They were struggling to communicate there. Bartra did manage to get the ball away. Ball is back with Palmer again. Ball is back with Palmer again. Closing down well, forced Chelsea all the way back into their own half. As the ball comes to Cucurella, plays it out wide to Madueke. Back into their own half. As the ball comes to Cucurella, plays it out, react, and then the back pass from Fornals. Forced Bartra to react quickly and clear the ball away for a corner. There was an offside flag though, because was being closed down by a Chelsea player, Nicholas Jackson, who was in an offside position. original ball was played over the top. In fact, it was, I think it was Enzo Fernandez who was caught offside eventually. It took a while for the flag to come up. Who was caught offside eventually. It took a while for the flag to come up. Camby trying to chase down the loose ball. Fornals now picks up the loose one and finds the goal scorer, Ozuli, into the penalty area, gives it to Isco. Picks it up again from Rodriguez, and as Ozuli lays it off for Isco, there's a tackle from Caicedo, clatters into Isco on the edge of the penalty area, and the free kick has been given. As Ozuli lays it off for Isco, there's a tackle from Caicedo, clatters into all arguing with the official. Caicedo walking away, shaking his head. He felt he got a little touch of the ball. So he made the challenge on Isco. May have a case. Certainly a tight call. And the referee has given in favour of Betis here. Chelsea now unhappy about the distance that the referee is wanting them to stand for this free kick away from the ball. Not happy with his measurements. It's Cole Palmer and Nicholas Jackson in the two-man wall. Ball is out on the Betis left-hand side. As the ball is crossed into the far post, Jorgensen gets a hand to it, forced the Nathan inside the penalty area, gets his shot away, it is blocked, and then Madueke clears for Chelsea. Pablo Fornals makes a sliding challenge to put the ball out of play rather, to prevent a Chelsea counter. And reacted as though he just scored a goal to put the ball out of play rather, to prevent a Chelsea counter. And reacted as though he just scored a goal in the Conference League final. Tasted success in his. Chelsea's first half has been a disappointing one as Enzo Fernandez. Conference League final approaching the halfway stage. Fourth final approaching the halfway stage. Betis looking to become the first Spanish side to win this competition. Chelsea looking to complete their collection of major European trophies. Cup Winners' Cup. Chelsea looking to complete their collection of major European, as Anthony takes on Cucurella down the right-hand side for Real Betis. Gives it to Sabali. Looks for the return pass from Cardoso. Betis gives it to Sabali. Whatever the referee decides to add on, the ball is helped on here to Palmer inside the Real Betis half. Plays it out to the right to Madueke. Gives it to Malagusto, looking for the cross. It's a deep one. It's reached Pedro Neto, gets his head to it. Can't really do too much with. Gives it to Malagusto, looking for the cross. It's a deep one. It's reached Pedro Neto, getting have a throw in. Oh, they're going to pile the pressure on here in the closing stages of the first half. Chalaba out wide to Gusto. Pile the pressure on here in the closing stages of the first half. Chalaba forward to Caicedo. First time passing to Cucurella on the halfway line. Plays it forward again. Header from Rodriguez is picked up by Fornals, who just about gets his pass away to Isco. Now Cardoso plays it out to the left-hand side, and Ozuli was initially attempting the chase, but he was never going to get there and gave up on it quickly. As Chelsea have possession again on the edge of the centre circle. Fernandes finding Chalobah. Back with Badiashile. Fernandes again. On the halfway line. Cross to Chalobah. Forward to Palmer. Drifts out to the right-hand side, then cuts in field and plays it to Fernandes. To Chalobah. Forward to Palmer. Drifts out to the right-hand side, then now it's with Cucurella, who gives it to Pedro Neto. Neto to Enzo Fernandez, looks to curl it, gets a deflection, wins Chelsea a corner as we move into stoppage time at the end of the first half. Just a 1-2 to Enzo Fernandez, looks to curl it, gets a deflection, wins Chelsea a corner as we this piece possibly in the first half is about to be taken. Chelsea searching for the equalising goal. They provide a killer blow taken. Chelsea searching for the equalising goal. Can they provide a killer blow here? Almost strokes. Clearing their lines. Ball is Fernandes. It is headed away. Real Betis clearing their lines. Is fired deep into the Chelsea half. That will do for now. Man comes out to Pedro Neto. Looks for the pass into Caicedo. Does a bit tight here for the next few seconds as it comes out to Pedro Neto. Looks for the pass into Caicedo. Does really well. Finds Cucurella. Played out to chest of headers. Now it's cleared further up towards halfway by Ozuli, the goal scorer, and it is fitting a bit through. Nathan gets his head to the ball. It's not the greatest of headers. Now it's cleared further up towards halfway. A brilliantly taken one as well by the Moroccan after it was picked out perfectly by Isco. An early strike for the Spanish side, who are 45 minutes away from claiming their first ever European trophy. In Wrocław, it is Real Betis 1, Chelsea 0. 5 minutes away. First ever European trophy. Half-time in Wrocław. It is Real Betis 1, Chelsea 0. Betis leading Chelsea by a goal to nil. Very entertaining first half and a very impressive performance so far from Manuel Pellegrini's side, who lead by a goal to nil. Goal was scored by Abde Ezel Zuli. Brilliantly set up by Isco. It has been Betis who have created the better chances in the game so far, as they look for a first ever European trophy. Some significant news to bring you as well at the start of this second half, with the restart just moments away now. Reece James has been summoned from the bench by Enzo Maresca to replace Malo Gusto. And Roman Perro has come on as well for Real Betis. He replaces Ricardo Rodriguez in the starting 11. So two changes, both at fullback. One for each side will be Real Betis. Second half. Straight away, Betis looking to make an early impression. Isco trying to win his side of corner, and has gone out to play for a goal kick instead. Manuel Pellegrini's team 45 minutes away from one of the biggest nights in the club's history. We've had domestic success, of course, very fondly, recent success, that is, 2022, the last time they won the Copa del Rey. Will be something that the fans have remembered very fondly. Recent success, that is, 2022, the last time they won the Copa del Rey. European trophy is something they've yet to achieve, and if they were to defeat clubs in England in doing so, certainly go down as a historic moment for the club, but they are still a long way away from achieving that. As the ball is fired towards Pedro Neto on the edge of the Betis penalty area, he loses out in the challenge for the ball, and Betis clear their lines. Jackson helping the ball on to Fernandez. Gets it out wide to Madueke, plays it back for Cucurella. Back with Noni Madueke again. Cucurella gets hold of it once more, finds Caicedo. Out to Madueke, on the left-hand touchline. Cutting in field, gives it to Cucurella. Backwards again by Chelsea to Badiashile. And now James. Badiashile back to Reece James once more. It's with Pedro Neto. And Reece James with the cross, looking for Fernandez, who can't keep it in play. So it trickles out for a goal kick to Real Betis. The goal scored by the Moroccan Abde Ezel Zuli. It was brilliant vision, creative quality of Isco that set up the goal. Isco, now at the age of 33, very much enjoying his time at Real Betis after a difficult spell with their rivals Sevilla. Actually played alongside Enzo Maresca for Manuel Pellegrini at Malaga back in the 2011-2012 season. Both were part of a very good Malaga side. Isco, very young player at the time, of course. 12 years younger than Isco. Isco it is, who takes a free kick for Real Betis and finds Anthony. So that a fairly quiet game. Done some good defensive work. Hasn't really offered too much of an attacking threat. It's been the other side, and Ezalzouli has provided that. Now Pedro Neto with a foul on Perro, the substitute. Be a free kick to Betis in a decent position, midway inside the Chelsea half. Decided not to fire the ball into the penalty area though, instead choose to try and keep possession. They have lost it now, and Cucurella wins it back, and now it's with Jackson on the left-hand side, cutting into the penalty area, looks to lay it back towards Enzo Fernandez. Now the flag goes up anyway against Jackson. Offside is the call. I think Jackson was very much aware of that as well. It was actually quite a tight call, but he did go just a little bit too early. Replays just showing that he was in fact in an offside position. Was played through to him down the left-hand side, and play will resume with Adrian's free kick. Change made by Pellegrini, as we mentioned, at half-time, with Perro replacing Ricardo Rodriguez, the very experienced fullback. Romain Perro, Frenchman, 27 years old, formerly of Southampton. Joined Betis from Southampton, in fact, after a loan spell with Nice in the 23-24 season. Southampton were in the Championship. Rejoining his former club Nice before making the move to Betis last summer. Featured fairly regularly for them over the course of the La Liga campaign with 28 league appearances. Scored a couple of goals as well. Sparksha challenges for the ball in midfield, and a high boot from Nicholas Jackson has led to a free kick to Real Betis. No card produced by the referee, who's kept his cards in his pocket so far this evening. The high boot from Jackson there does get penalised. As Isco take the free kick. Has had a play on the right-hand side for a Real Betis throw. As this second half progresses, especially if it's long, no doubt, as this second half progresses, especially if it stays as tight as it is at the moment. As though they are going to be forced into making an early change in this second half. Real Betis, and the goal scorer Ezalzouli is being forced off here, which is a big disappointment for him. He's had his moment in the spotlight. He would love to have stayed on and finished the game here. He's being replaced now, clearly not able to carry on. Jesus Rodriguez is on to replace him, 19 years old. Broke into the Real Betis first team earlier this season, Spanish under-21 international. 20 league appearances and 2 goals for the 19-year-old in La Liga this season. Has scored in the Conference League as well. And Ezalzouli, having got his goal, is now replaced by Jesus Rodriguez. Pedro Neto has the ball for Chelsea, and immediately Rodriguez involved, intercepting the pass and finding Isco. Two players at the opposite ends of their career, as Isco Holds onto the ball really well and tries to play it forward towards Bakambu. It's been cleared by Chelsea, but Palmer loses the aerial duel, and Fornals plays it back to Bartra. Bartra finds Nathan, Jackson, Martinez. Rodriguez rather being put under a little bit of pressure by Jackson, and ball goes out of play for a throw in. Chile playing the ball forward, finding Fernandez, who releases Madueke down the left-hand side. Madueke with the cross, and Nicholas Jackson was in there, and Adrian challenges for the ball. Nicholas Jackson stays down. Enzo Maresca felt that the goalkeeper here does not make contact with the ball and instead catches the Chelsea striker. There's a Betis player down as well. There's a yellow card for Chile, first booking of the game, presumably for descending play here on the screen. His first instinct was that Adrian Maresca has rushed back to the bench to watch a replay here on the screen. His first instinct was that Adrian made an attempt to clear the ball and instead clattered with Nicholas Jackson. I'm not entirely convinced he did. There may have been a bit of a coming together between Bartra and Jackson. I don't think there's going to be a penalty awarded, even if the incident itself is being reviewed here. Chile was cautioned by the referee. It is a corner, nothing more. Chelsea hoping perhaps the referee would see that as a reckless challenge maybe by the goalkeeper. Just over 10 minutes gone in the second half here. Real Betis leading Chelsea by a goal to nil. Abde Ezalzouli, the only striker of the game. In comes the corner. Badiashile was up there. It's fallen to James and gets his effort away. It is blocked and goes behind for a corner. Nathan, the big centre-back, on loan from Napoli, getting his body in the way. Chelsea have another corner to be taken by Reece James. Clips it into the penalty area. Headed to the edge of the box, and Fernandez, it's fired across the penalty area by Jackson and gathered by Adrian fairly comfortably again. The goalkeeper who hasn't really had a save to make in this game. Nicholas Jackson firing the ball across the 6-yard box. Wasn't really a shot, wasn't really a cross. Just gathered very easily by the goalkeeper, and now the ball is played into the path of Isco. Had a lot of space to run into, and he's fired it out to the right-hand side now, edge of the Chelsea penalty area, and the deflected cross goes behind. It wasn't deflected, in fact, it was a goal kick has been given. Betis felt they should have had a corner. It was Anthony on that right-hand side. He felt it should have been a corner, certainly, but play resumes with the Chelsea goal kick. Enzo Fernandez picking it up and playing the ball forward to Jackson, who immediately helps it on to Madueke, who tries to play it back into the path of Jackson, who can't keep it in play. It remains 1-0 to Real Betis in Wrocław. More frustration for Chelsea at the start of this second period. Before Enzo Maresca looks to make more changes. As Pedro Neto tries to help the ball on, it's won back by Real Betis briefly. Now they get themselves a throw in on the left-hand side. Perrault taking his time over this. Left-hand side has completely changed now with Rodriguez and Zuli both being substituted. Not entirely sure about Ricardo Rodriguez, but one would assume it was a forced change. As was struggling with the pace of Pedro Neto on that side. Manuel Pellegrini felt that it was time to make the change. Caicedo tries to pick out a teammate, the ball clatters into the referee. So play is stopped and they will resume here with Chelsea in possession. Maresca looks like he is about to make those changes now. One of the players getting ready to come on here is Jadon Sancho, who will be making his final appearance for Chelsea for returning to Manchester United. On with Anthony, of course, for Real Betis, who in theory is making his last appearance for the club as well. One of them could return to Old Trafford with a European medal. Levi Colwill is also about to come on. He, of course, was the goal-scoring hero. Levi Colwill is also about to come on. He, of course, was the goal-scoring hero against Nottingham Forest on Sunday. Goal this season, having secured that. They have achieved what they wanted. They did. And remains their main objective for this season. Having secured that, they have achieved what they wanted. They did. And do desperately want this trophy as well, to give Maresca a first win as Chelsea manager, now being brought on to try and help that happen. Jadon Sancho is going to come on. Two players now being brought on to try and help that happen. Jadon Sancho is going to come on. So too is Levi Colwill. Taken off here. Straight away, Colwill is forced to do some defending as Real Betis get themselves into the penalty area. Quite able to make anything happen. Chile, by the way, the player who's been withdrawn by Maresca here, along with Pedro Neto. He was on a yellow card, picked up for dissent. So Colwill, a straight swap with him. Some defending to do straight away, did Levi Colwill. He was struggling against Sabali on that right-hand side. As the ball is played through the middle, Chelsea look to try and make something happen again. Adrian is out of his goal to clear the ball away to safety. He's not been afraid to do that on a couple of occasions this evening. It's probably been the most challenging aspect of his performance so far, as I mentioned already. Hasn't really had a save to make yet in this final, and we are well over an hour into the game now. So there to make the tackle. And Fornals winning it against Caicedo in mid-hand side again, cutting in field, but Perro is there to make the tackle. And Fornals winning, finds Enzo Fernandez. Now it's with Reece James, back with Enzo Fernandez again, and does lose out this time though, as Caicedo wins it back and finds Enzo Fernandez. Reece James, back with Enzo Fernandez again, and Caicedo helping it onto Cucurella. Cucurella finds Sancho, skips past the first challenge, but the ball now with Chalobah. Finds James in the centre circle, plays it out to the right-hand side. The ball now with Chalobah. Finds James, goes to ground. Perrault waving his arms in the air, saying no foul. Referee agreed. And Madueke trying to force his way past the Perrault. Goes to ground. Perrault waiting an explanation as to why the free kick wasn't given. Chelsea do have it back again now. Cucurella, the assistant for an explanation as to why the free kick wasn't given. Chelsea do have it back evening so far. Fernandes again. Looking for the pass, gets it out to Sancho, and this closed down by Bartra, who's been outstanding this evening so far. Fernandes again, gives it to Palmer, nowhere to go really for Palmer, who finds Sancho, and now Sancho and towards the penalty area, still has it Sancho, gives it to Palmer, nowhere to go really for Palmer, who finds Sancho, and now Sancho and Fernandes exchanging passes, forced to Palmer inside the penalty area, tries to get the pass away, and Jesus Rodriguez just hacks it away to safety, and Bakambu chases, but can't get there ahead of Cucurella. Plays the ball back to Jorgensen. Has had very little the longer this game goes on. Palmer, inside the Betis half, and more possession the longer this game goes on. Palmer, inside the Betis half. Chopping and changing, and then carries the ball forward down the right-hand side, cuts infield again, little scoop ball into the penalty area, and the header finds the back of the net, and it's Enzo Fernandez with the equaliser for Chelsea, 20 minutes into the second half, and it was all about the brilliance of Cole Palmer, and Adrian just couldn't keep the header out, as the Premier League side level, and the opportunities finally. They get their moment, and it's Enzo Fernandez off without really creating the opportunities. Finally, they get their moment, and it's Enzo Fernandez who started the night as captain, whose England teammate Cole Palmer made this goal happen. Wearer of the armband, Reece James, whose England teammate Cole Palmer in swinging cross. Fernandes making the perfect run, guiding his header right-hand side, left-footed, in-swinging cross. Fernandes making Enzo Fernandez, finding the moment that Chelsea have been waiting for, but couldn't keep it out. And Enzo Fernandez, finding the moment that Chelsea have been waiting for in the second half, and now this game has a very different feel. Second goal in this competition for Enzo Fernandez. As Betis prepare to restart, minutes or so away from the midway point of the second half, and they will need to up their game now, because they have been sitting back a little bit in this second period, trying to hold on to that lead, something they haven't been able to do. Now Madueke striding forward for Chelsea, finds Palmer. Chelsea was creating another opportunity right off the back of scoring that goal. The offside flag was raised in the end. Cucurella gives it to Colwell, and Chalobah. Cucurella gives it to Colwell, and Chalobah. Fires a long one forward. Nathan with the header. Cardoso can't keep hold of it. And Enzo Fernandez plays it out wide to Sancho. Chelsea with a bit more energy about them now. Good response from Real Betis, who win the ball back and clear downfield. Chalobah's able to pick it up again, and Chelsea really dominating possession in this second half as the ball is played out wide to Sancho again. He's been quite involved since coming on. Finds Fernandes, back to Sancho. Chelsea can be more patient now. The urgency not required quite as much as Palmer goes to the ground, felt that he was fouled, nothing given. Betis can't keep the ball in play. Chelsea quick to restart with the throw. Sancho finds Palmer, hits it first time, and a reasonably comfortable save for Adrian. They are starting to look more and more dangerous here, Chelsea. Adrian's effort save, rather a comfortable one from Parma's effort. Betis looking to establish a bit more control again. They certainly had plenty of in the first half. Jesus Rodriguez now trying to wriggle away from a couple of challenges. Ball does come to Perro down the left-hand side, fires it across, it's headed away. Loose ball is going to be picked up by Johnny Cardoso, does really well and tries to force his way into the penalty area. Now Isco looking to get the shot away, was blocked by Colwell. Just for a moment it looked like it might open up for him. Now Sancho looking to burst downfield for Chelsea, over the halfway line, finds Jackson, back to Caicedo, forward to Fernandes, Palmer on the overlap, Madueke in support, Palmer carries it forward into the penalty area, onto his left foot again, twisting and turning, still looking for the space, holds onto it, finds James, Caicedo, forward to Fernandes, forces the ball out wide to Jadon Sancho, back with Cucurella. Now it's with Chalobah. Gives it to Madueke. Palmer again picking it up on the right-hand side. Up against the youngster, Jesus Rodriguez. Palmer still has it. Gets away from Rodriguez. Looks for the cross, and it's headed in. It's 2 for Chelsea, and it's Jackson with the goal that puts the Premier League side in front with 20 minutes to go. 2 goals in 5 minutes for Enzo Maresca's team, and both created by Cole Palmer crosses. He's done it again. A difficult spell in the last couple of months for Cole Palmer. But in the last 5 minutes, he's just turned this Conference League final on its head. 2-headed goals, both masterminded by Palmer. And now Chelsea are 20 minutes from another European trophy. Cole Palmer picking it up on the right-hand side, turning Jesus Rodriguez, the substitute, inside out. And then providing the perfect cross for Nicholas Jackson. It was about 3 or 4 yards out. And he headed the ball into the back of the net. Interestingly, Adrian appealed straight away for handball. I think it comes off his chest. I don't think it is going to be a handball. It's not actually a header from Jackson. Is it the arm? Or is it the chest from the Chelsea striker? Jackson certainly confident that the goal will stand. It's his 3rd goal in 3 appearances in the Conference League. And with 20 minutes to go, is that going to be third change for Kumbu? Third change for Manuel Pellegrini's team as the Betis players get the game restarted. Chelsea turning this game around in the space of 5 minutes. Huge disappointment at the moment for the Betis fans and players. Chelsea now seem to have this game under control. Jorgensen with the ball at his feet. He's had almost nothing to do in this second half so far. Perro now being closed down by Madueke, struggled to get the ball away and has to concede a throw in the end as well. Cole Palmer is not in a rush to take this throw in. He's the man who's turned it around for them. Chelsea's star player at the start of the season. Contribution numbers-wise declining a little in the latter stages. Chelsea have been on a great run. They've won 7 of their last 8 games coming into this one. Real Betis had actually got 5 games without a win. They had drawn 4 of those, including a Conference League semi-final against Fiorentina, where they squeezed through in extra time. And in La Liga, they'd drawn 3 and lost 1 of their last 4 games, which saw them finish 10 points outside the Champions League spots in the end. So Madueke picks it up for Chelsea, who are now playing with real swagger and belief. Jesus Rodriguez now for Real Betis, finds Fornals. Fornals looking for the ball over the top for Anthony, who has the beating of Cucurella for pace, but Cucurella does really well against him to win the ball back. And then Caicedo gives the ball away very cheaply indeed, and Isco will pick this up now on the edge of the penalty area. A little back heel looking for the run of Jesus Rodriguez, couldn't quite pick it up there, Jesus Rodriguez, and Reece James wins Chelsea a throw-in deep inside their own half. Very different feel about this game now. It's all about whether Chelsea can see this through, control the game the way they have been doing pretty much since the start of the second half. They had to be patient, didn't create too many chances in the first 20 minutes of the second half, but once they got the goal, it felt like it was going to be a different story, and it has been so far. And they're on the move again as Madueke looks to break away for Chelsea. Another goal surely would be enough for them to see this over the line. It's with Palmer again. Now with Caicedo, forced backwards this time. Chalobah wins his team the throw. We're going to get another twist in this Conference League final. Chelsea looking to become the second English side to win this, following in the footsteps of West Ham 2 years ago. Roma and Olympiacos, the other winners. Betis hoping to become the first Spanish side to win this trophy. Not to be for them. Maresca, who played alongside Isco, as I mentioned, at Malaga. Isco would have been a teenager back then. Played under Manuel Pellegrini that season. Maresca also spent a fair amount of time with Real Betis' rivals Sevilla. He has just made himself a little more unpopular. With the Real Betis supporters, but the game is not done yet. The ball is fired in towards Isco in the penalty area. Chelsea have cleared it away. Cucurella gets the final touch on the ball as it goes out for a corner. And a chance for Betis here from a set piece. They've taken it short and taken it quickly. Isco cuts it back towards Cardoso, can't get the ball under control, neither can Bartra. And now Chelsea looking to break away, and there could be a chance here as Jackson races through on goal. No one in front of him. Sancho up in support, he's overrun it, and it's picked up by Adrian. And the Chelsea supporters can't believe what they've just seen there as Jackson looked like he was through on goal. I think he may be struggling a little bit with cramp. Just seemed to tire a little as he ran towards the penalty area there, didn't have the legs to get over the line and finish the game for Chelsea. How big will that moment be when we look back on this at full time? Are Real Betis going to make Chelsea pay for that? Rubial gets it out wide. Anthony up against Cucurella on the edge of the Chelsea penalty area. Looking to cut onto his left foot, tries to get the shot away, loses his balance, and is cleared away comfortably on the edge of the penalty area. Now Natan with a header beats Enzo Fernandez to the ball and finds Jesus Rodriguez, who cuts inside, beating Madueke, then finds Isco, who holds on to it, but tackled by Palmer. And Palmer then boots the ball away in frustration after the whistle had gone and picks up a yellow card. Meantime, Jackson is down and is indicating that he is going to have to come off. And it was after he made a burst forward from his own half. He was through on goal and he just seemed to pull up as he made his way towards the penalty area. He overran the ball, and I think it was because he was just struggling. To keep up with it. I think he might be heading off. His night might be done. Chelsea could be forced into a change here. Certainly adds a little bit of tension for the final few minutes. Dewsbury Hall is getting ready to come on for Chelsea. So Jackson makes way, Keenan Dewsbury Hall. We'll get 10 minutes here in a European final. Former Leicester player. Won the championship title with Maresca, of course. About to add another trophy, perhaps, to the collection with his manager. Unless there are twists to come in the final 10 minutes plus stoppage time as play resumes. Betis with a free kick. Taken by Nathan inside the centre circle. Isco gives it to Jesus Rodriguez, whose rather hurried attempt at a pass was easily won by Dewsbury Hall, but he's worked hard to help his side win the ball back. As Rubial goes to ground, felt that he was fouled there. Meantime, Giovanni Lo Celso is getting ready to come on for Real Betis here. Chalobah has it now on the edge of the Chelsea penalty area. Gives it back to Jorgensen to clear. Caicedo challenging Fornals in midfield, but it's Enzo Fernandez who comes away with it and drives forward over the halfway line. Finds Jadon Sancho. Sancho up against Sabali. Sancho still going. Gives it back to Enzo Fernandez. No rush to get a shot away here. Chelsea happy to keep the ball. Caicedo makes a long back pass back to Jorgensen on the edge of the penalty area. Jorgensen slips as he clears, but he gets decent distance on the ball. Ball now back at the feet of Adrian. Forward by Nathan. Looks like it might be a double change here for Real Betis in a moment. Their final two changes. Unless, of course, we go to extra time, they might have another one. But Dewsbury Hall has picked this up for Chelsea. Driving towards the penalty area. Looks for Sancho, finds him. Jadon Sancho onto his right foot, fires it into the corner, and surely fires Chelsea to Conference League glory. On his final appearance for the club, Jadon Sancho, on loan from Manchester United, has surely won the title here for Chelsea. Another European trophy, another glorious night for the boys in blue. The comeback win looks to be complete, and it's Jadon Sancho who scored the goal now. That probably kills this game with 7 minutes to go. Big celebrations in the corner where Jadon Sancho is being mobbed by teammates on the field and the substitutes as well. It was Dewsbury Hall who made it happen. A good run from him. The ball found its way to Sancho. It wasn't the cleanest of passes, but he cut inside onto his right foot and was able to bend the ball into the corner beyond Adrian. No chance at all for the former West Ham and Liverpool goalkeeper. And Jadon Sancho, who's had a difficult couple of seasons in more ways than one, may have just scored a decisive goal in a European final for Chelsea. If it's his final appearance for the club, he's going out in a blaze of glory. What a special moment for him. And Chelsea now surely cannot be caught. His first goal in the Conference League. And Chelsea now surely will not be caught. Three Premier League goals for Jadon Sancho this season. That's the first one in Europe, his fifth overall for the club. As Jesus Rodriguez makes a run into the penalty area, he felt that he was fouled. He's also claiming handball now from a Chelsea defender. Quite a few of the Real Betis players are asking the question here. It's Isco's ball over the top. I think the question is whether Reece James handled the ball as Jesus Rodriguez tried to find a way through. Doesn't look like he did. Play continues and nothing will be changed here as Isco picks it up for Real Betis, plays it out to the right-hand side. It's Anthony, and Anthony fires it at goal, but straight into the arms of Jorgensen, unable to repeat the feat of his Manchester United colleague, Jadon Sancho. Both players, of course, on loan. Is played out wide to Jadon Sancho. He's looking to keep it in that corner as much as he can. A couple of changes made by Real Betis, by the way, when that third goal went in. Lo Celso and Altimira coming on for Fornals and Cardoso. Seems like now it's not really going to matter. It is going to be a disappointing night ultimately for Real Betis, who for so long had so much hope. And Chelsea are going to make their final change as well. Marc Guiu, Spanish striker, taking the place of Cole Palmer. Just under 3 minutes of stoppage time to play here. Three minutes plus stoppage time, I should say. Chelsea have a little bit of a problem with Enzo Fernandez down following a challenge by Anthony. Anthony is not at all impressed that Enzo Fernandez is staying on the floor here, and he's getting a little bit carried away. Bit of a scuffle breaking out between one or two of the players now. Anthony has picked up a yellow card. things have settled down again here, and so Fernandez is back on his feet. It's a little bit of a coming together, so Anthony did go over, seemingly at first, to apologise to Enzo Fernandez. And a bit of a disagreement broke out. There was a bit of a coming together of heads. The referee, I think, has managed to sort it all out now. He's given the yellow card to Anthony. I don't think it's going to be any more than that. Chelsea won't mind. Happy now just to see the clock run down. Ball has gone out of play for a goal kick. It's been taken quickly by Adrian. Real Betis are running out of time. It's James up against Jesus Rodriguez and does really well to hold off the challenge of the youngster and finds Madueke, gives it to Chalapa, who clears it downfield to Amanguio, the substitute, who is not able to find Madueke and is back with Real Betis again. With a throw-in on the left-hand side. They're playing with urgency, still fighting, hoping they have enough time to make something happen. Move into stoppage time now. Bartra fires a long ball forward, kept in play by Perro, does really well, gets a good cross in too. It's come to Cucurella at the far post, he doesn't really clear it. Lo Celso has it inside the penalty area. Manages to get the pass out wide, and then Cucurella is able to clear and find the teammate as Jadon Sancho. There are 5 additional minutes to be played. We are 30 seconds into that as Caicedo carries it forward, and now there's space on the left-hand side for Enzo Fernandez, the captain, who scored the goal that got Chelsea back in the game. Comes to Caicedo, who fires it in from the edge of the penalty area. Another Chelsea goal, and now the scoreline looks even more comfortable. And Enzo Maresca celebrates on the touchline as Moises Caicedo scores a goal that surely now just rubber stamps it. It was all over anyway. Now the scoreline makes very unpleasant reading for Real Betis. And Moises Caicedo, not exactly known for his goal-scoring exploits at Chelsea, has taken his goal superbly. A former Brighton player who arrived with a big reputation and took a while to settle, has been one of their best players this season. He's played in every single Premier League game, only scored once in the league. It's only his 2nd goal of the season, his 3rd for Chelsea. Fired in from the edge of the penalty area after being picked up by Enzo Fernandez. There was probably a deflection on the shot as well. And Chelsea have been so dominant in the second half. A very different performance to the first. Caicedo's first goal in 4 Europa Conference League games. Bartra clears the ball downfield for Real Betis, whose slim hopes faded completely with that last goal. They were still battling as we went into 5 minutes of stoppage time here, but now it's all about celebrating for the players on the Chelsea bench, who are all getting to their feet, ready to rush onto the pitch in a couple of minutes' time when the full-time whistle goes. Played forward towards Jesus Rodriguez, cut out brilliantly by Reece James. Then looks for Dewsbury Hall. It's a loose pass though, and Real Betis are on the move with Bartra. Tries another long-range effort, just as he did in the first half. This time it clears the crossbar and goes out of play for a goal kick to Chelsea. After 65 minutes, the Betis fans were dreaming of European glory, and they were very, very close. 4-1 scoreline It's more an indication of just how dominant Chelsea have been in the second half rather than the overall picture. Betis could have had a couple of goals in that first half. They were the better team by a long shot. But it is going to be Chelsea celebrating the win here at full time, which is about a minute away now. Francisco controls the ball beautifully and finds Jesus Rodriguez. Madueke comes charging back to make the challenge and does win the ball. Isco helps win it back for Real Betis and commits a foul then, according to the referee. It's a shot on goal from Perro after the whistlers go, which has hit Chalabar. Chalabar not very happy about it. Wants a word with Roman Perro, who has picked up a yellow card for playing on after the referee's whistle had gone. There's some bookings late on in this game for Real Betis, who just been feeling pure frustration. They are almost at the 5-minute mark of stoppage time. Chelsea players gathering on the sidelines, already celebrating in some ways. Jackson, Badiashile. Raheem Sterling is there, and many others. As the full-time whistle goes, and Chelsea win the Europa Conference League. The second English club to claim this competition. Enzo Maresca defeats his former mentor and manager, Manuel Pellegrini. Betis took the lead in the first half and were dreaming of glory. Ezal Zuli's goal was enough for just over an hour until the Chelsea comeback, inspired by Cole Palmer. Enzo Fernandez and Nicolas Jackson with the first two goals to put them in front. Then Jadon Sancho scored a brilliant third to pretty much wrap up the game. There was still time for a fourth. Moises Caicedo, turning goal scorer.
울트라가 생기면 어떻게 하자.